morning. It's Monday, June 10th. Thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. We're bringing you all the news, announcements, and events, along with a couple of special guests. I'm Dr. Amy Tan, Dean of HCC's English and Communications, with Dr. Nicholas Cox, our History Department Chair. How's it going this morning, Nick?
Hey, good morning. How was your weekend?
Oh, it's good. You know, it's feeling like summer out there. Hope you
It is
have
very hot. It is
yep,
very hot.
pool already and cool, and the AC turned way down to freezing. But other than that, yeah, we're happy to see students back on campus for our second week of classes. And during when HCC is in session, we're live on HCCTV, and people can also find us on Facebook.
That's right, Dean Tan. We are live on the Houston Community College District's Facebook page and also on YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and HCC TV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Mondays through Friday.
Today, we're talking to an HCC partner about empowering entrepreneurs and more. So we're happy to welcome Julie Irvin Hartman, Certified Proposal Manager and co-founder of B2G Victory. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here.
Nick will be right with you as soon as we get through our first interview, and then he'll be with you shortly. First, for Mental Health Monday, one of HCC's show hosts is discussing June as PTSD Awareness Month. We're happy to welcome Tim Stroud, CEO of Stay Tuned for Vets and host of HCC TV's Veterans Voice. Welcome back to the show, Tim.
Good morning. Great to see everybody's smiles this morning.
It's wonderful to have you with us. We're going to discuss your organization, and at the end of the interview, first we want to talk about the disturbing issue among our vets, since it is PTSD Awareness Month. Can we begin with some statistics that you have for us?
Absolutely. Now, these aren't my stats. These are run from different departments, some from the Department of Defense, some through the VA, but this latest one is from the PTSD Foundation. And through their research, they've stated that 30% of all deployed soldiers, airmen, Marines, puddle jumpers, and everybody that goes along with us into a war or conflict, they will have post-traumatic stress. And the shocking thing from all of that is that 50% of them still do not seek resources when they get back to CONUS.
And why do you think that is, that they do not go and seek that necessary treatment?
Well, part of it is there is still a stigma around post-traumatic stress. I mean, a lot of our leaders were trained by our Vietnam veterans, and they were told to basically suck it up, buttercup. And let's face it, that's still a black eye on our nation's history. We did not treat our men and women who served with the gratitude that they deserved when they came back from deployment. And but thankfully, our Vietnam veterans are the ones that stepped up and helped create so many different organizations, veteran service organizations, that support the mental health. And so there's learned knowledge and activity knowledge, but you still have those that don't seek either one of those because they want to be that strong alpha for the family, whether that it's a male or female counterpart, is that when they get out, they still want to have all the strength and they don't show their feelings. And that's still a problem.
And can PTSD affect family members as well as those who serve?
That's a great question, and that's what's been studied for the last 50 years since Vietnam, is that it not only affects the military member, is when they come back home, they have those triggers and those stressors that take them to a point that is beyond their happiness, outside of their joy. And that's what we're trying to do with our organization and the thousands others that we've partnered up with, is getting them back on their road to recovery.
And for those who might be tuning in today, we're veterans to get the healing they deserve.
The answer is yes. There is not a blanket you can throw over everything and say, oh, here is your fix, and this will be the magic that fixes you. No, number one, there's nothing wrong with you per se. It's just an experience that you went through. And I'm not a trained psychologist, but I was blessed to work with Dr. Catherine Kochla. She was the lead psychologist at Olenteague VA out of Temple. And she's the one that started TexVet and got me on my journey to help others heal. I mean, I was a combat medic, magical medical hands, but I also knew that there was that learned knowledge and activity knowledge, and breaking it down further than that is the learned knowledge. That is your psychology. That is talking and finding out what the root cause of your problem is. And once you've identified it, how you can learn from it and actually grow and become stronger. A lot of times it takes that activity knowledge to go through. The veterans that came through are no different than our World War I veterans when they came back. Frank Buckles was the last one. He passed away when he was 110. He was the only one left. A lot of our veterans still feel like they're the only one. That is only happening to them. So we get them in outdoor activities and events and connect them with other veterans using that battle buddy system, and then making sure that, again, they're taking those steps forward. Sometimes it's a huge leap. Sometimes they're almost flying, and sometimes it's failing forward.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, we spend a lot of time and effort and preparing them to deploy. And, do we do that when they come home? Is there a space for them to come back and be together to prepare to come back to what their reality was before they left? And
You're
I guess
exact-
sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
you're exactly right. And we train them, everyone who goes into the military, we put them through whatever version of that branch's boot camp is, if you will. And we break them down all the way down to their core elements. And then we build them back up and show them that teamwork, that leadership, that camaraderie. And the great thing is that we have those initial elements, but also war's not pretty. Neither are the conflicts. And when you send Americans to go fight other people's war and stop the oppression where it is, one, it's needed. Number two, we do need that reverse, that Uno card. How do you take that person and build them back up so they can integrate into a civilian culture? And that's exactly what a lot of the branches are currently doing. They have the programs to help them out with their education, their vocation, and now, thankfully, they're letting them integrate into organizations that will take them a step further back into a place where they feel that joy, where they can relax. They're not hyper vigilant all the time. They don't have to sit with their backs to the wall at every restaurant or theater. They can open themselves up and trust again.
Well, and what is the first step? What should a veteran do who's looking for resources here in Texas?
The first thing is just to be mindful, and a lot of us are taught to journal while we're in the military, and I would encourage that. But also, as you're doing that, write down the things that bring you joy. You'll hear that over and over again, joy and peace, because that's what we're trying to do. We are doing. We're getting veterans and their family members back on that path. Find out what makes your heart smile and do that. And we're talking about all the legal things. Not Texas doesn't recognize some other stuff, but I'm talking about fishing, the scuba diving, swimming, sailing, acting, dancing. It could be in the arts. It could just be an activity, and connect with another veteran or group, because like you mentioned earlier, is that we teach our veterans or active duty to become that cohesive unit. That's their tribe. Those are the people they love to be around, and they literally trust their counterparts to the left and to the right with their lives. And then when they separate from the military, they lose a piece of themselves. They lose that identity because they've lost their tribe. We want to plug them back in. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And give them that space to do that together too.
Yes.
Before we move on, I just want to highlight that there is a 1-800-273-8255. That is a phone number that they can call. Veterans can call. They can press 1 or send a text message to 838-255. And nationally, they can dial 988 to get services. But I can't let you go without asking you about Stay Tuned for Vets.
And thank you for mentioning those numbers. That's a great safety net for all of our veterans and family members that are listening or watching this broadcast today. We want to make sure that we're connecting with them, and so they can link to us through any of our social media. Stay tuned for vets.org or any of the socials. Still hard to say X. I want to say Twitter.
X, I know. Everybody's still on Twitter.
Right? But when they connect with us, they're going to find out that we offer international classes. My daughter's in Germany right now doing drum lessons, photography, videography, and speaking German to active duty airmen at 2 of the different bases. What we do is we find an event or an activity, we either host it or we partner up with another organization and make sure that there's something fun to do. We've had how to draw your own comic book characters by a guy who owns a comic book company, which is great, and he's an Air Force veteran. How to dance, how to sing, how to play a different instrument. We're working with guitars for vets and also with the VA on making sure that we're integrating something that's fun. So now they're not only getting that trained, that learned knowledge from the psychologists or their team, the LCSWs, they're also putting an activity with it, and they're showing how they can be creative in the process. And the veterans that go through this, it just makes your heart happy because you see them and their family members flourish again.
And so real fast, before I have to let you go, tell us about Veterans Voice.
Oh my goodness. So I love what we do with HCCTV because we get to focus 3 different people each month and the different organizations that they may not know about. There could be a resource right across the street, but if you don't know it's there, it simply doesn't exist to you, right?
I mean, HCCTV is a wonderful group of people. I enjoy even this tiny little part that I get to participate. But I want to thank you so much, Tim Stroud, for all of the work that you're doing in this area, for bringing attention to PTSD and creating these resources and getting them out there. Tim Stroud, CEO of Stay Tuned for Vets and host of HCCTV's Veterans Voice. We'll have all your information in our post after the show. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you very much. And I also want to say thanks to my team, Amber and Sarah. They do an amazing job every day.
Fantastic. And I will pass it over to Nick.
Well, thank you guys very much. And I'll just say before we transition to the next segment that I'm going to call it Twitter until I quit or die. I don't know. It's going to be Twitter forever. Welcome back to the show, Julie, with the B2G for Victory. And you know, we'd really like to hear more about that program in a minute, but I think you have an upcoming series of events called the Empowering CEO workshops or classes. Can you tell us a little bit about this Empowering CEO program?
Absolutely. The Empowered CEO program is brought to Houston area or Harris County, whoever can come to these sessions. It's a 3-part series brought to you by the Center for Entrepreneurship. That HCC has. HCC has a ton of resources to help entrepreneurs be successful, and this is just one of them. It is a hands-on financial systems course for entrepreneurs to help them understand and empower them to be comfortable with their financials and why financials are so critical for entrepreneurial success.
Well, we definitely want to hear more about those other resources that HCC has. But when you say this is a 3-part event, are these 3 in-person meetings?
There are. It starts this Friday, June the 14th from 9 to noon, and it's at the Houston West Institute. And it's then Friday the 21st and then Friday the 28th. And what I want to point out is that entrepreneurs and business owners, you don't have to come to all 3 sessions. You can just maybe come to the first one or the third one, or really where you're struggling with your financials. It's really important for entrepreneurs to meet them where they are in their journey.
No, that's wonderful. I mean, we'll have some more information about this specific event in our post so students can see it, but registration is open. And if the first workshop is Friday the 14th, then time is short. You know, I'm over here at the WHI, and so maybe one of these Fridays I'll pop down and say hello to everybody. But let's talk about something that might be coming in the fall. I understand you guys offered a capability statement series, and it was sold out. So you're going to bring that back. What does the HCC capability statement series include? What would people do?
So the capability statement series, once again, is a 3-part hands-on, and it helps business owners develop their company resume. A lot of us are familiar with our personal resumes, but if you want to do work in the government space or with Fortune 500 companies, that one-page document, your capability statement, is that critical ticket. And we're also seeing that banks and financial institutions are also asking for it when you're going for access to capital, as well as, let's say you wanted to do work with Shell or Target, any of these Fortune 500 companies that have supplier diversity programs that are actively seeking out marginalized and diverse and small businesses, whether that's a woman-owned business, a minority-owned business, a veteran-owned business as well. They have goals that they want to hit and achieve. And so that capability statement talks about your capabilities, talks about your value proposition, your differentiators, and your past performance, and summarizes it all in one document, and really helps business owners think about and focus on how their business plan, their business strategy, and their business development efforts all come together in that one document. And when they leave, they will have a finished capability statement.
Okay, well, it may be too early to have any dates pinned down, but that would be another 3-day Fridays, maybe workshop in the fall when you guys get that scheduled. It would be similar to this Empowering CEO workshop series.
Exactly, Nick. And it'll be, previously we had it on Thursdays, but yeah, it's a 2-hour chunk, 3 consecutive Thursdays. So the first one we talk about why you need this, what it, the importance that it plays in your business trajectory. The second one is actually hands-on on your computer, either in a PowerPoint template or a Canva template, producing it. And then the third session in the series is we go around and give each other positive and constructive feedback on your capability statement. And then we role play on how to use that capability statement in different scenarios, whether that's government work or Fortune 500 work.
No, that's wonderful. And would these be open to HCC students, alums, the general public? Who
Yeah,
are
the capability statement session, as well as the Empowered CEO series, is open for entrepreneurs that are just starting out, entrepreneurs that have been in business, for 5 or 10 years, or any current former HCC students, alumni. And they're all free, which is wonderful.
Okay, excellent. So Julie, I want to ask you to remind people who might not have seen your last visit on HCCTV, but how did HCC serve to advance your career as an entrepreneur?
HCC has been a part of my entrepreneurial journey for the last 15 years. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 20 years. The last time I got a paycheck from a company I did not own, I was 27 years old. And HCC has been a part of that. I went through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. I was in cohort 1, successfully grew that company. And because of the skills that I learned through that program, I actually was able to successfully exit and sell that company, take a sabbatical, go and get my MBA from Texas A&M, and launch B2G Victory. So I returned back to HCC and the Houston entrepreneurial ecosystem and entered in the business plan competition in 2022. We took 3rd place, and the business plan competition award ceremony for this year was just last week. And I'm going to get chills here, but we were able to come back and be a sponsor to help all of those other businesses be successful and give them a 1-year access to the B2G Victory portal. So once again, HCC from my previous corporation was able to get the skills and knowledge to sell that successfully, to come back and be in the business plan competition, come back and sponsor, and then be a part of the Center for Entrepreneurship and be able to share my knowledge and motivate and empower other entrepreneurs to be successful is just, it's really, really neat that HCC does all of this for other entrepreneurs, and that I'm able to continue to be a part of that ecosystem.
We absolutely love hearing stories about HCC students having life successes and coming back to pay it forward with our students here at the college. It's just a wonderful story. So you mentioned that B2G Victory portal and a tour that I understand you have coming up, and we've just got a minute or two here, but could you tell us a little bit about the portal and the tour before we let you go?
Absolutely. Thanks so much for asking. B2G Victory stands for Business to Government. Our sole focus is to help businesses grow and build their capacity through government contracts. We've built this anytime portal that has answers to frequently asked questions, glossary, videos to help eliminate that frustration, minimize that intimidation, and help businesses and support them in their government contracting journey. So we're going to go step by step through the B2G Victory portal on June 25th at 9 a.m. It's virtual, and I think that information is going to be posted there. I would love to have y'all there to learn more about it, and anyone else who wants to enhance their business and get additional education and resources whenever that works for their schedule.
Well, thank you so very much. We'll have all this information about these resources in our notes at the end of the show. Thank you so much.
Great to be here. Thanks. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick and Julie. What an inspiring story to have that ability to come back and be part of the program and support the new businesses. Just wonderful to hear. So we have some news and announcements to get to, and I'm going to start off by congratulating Dr. Latricia Harrison, interim president of HCC's Coleman College of Health Sciences. She has been appointed by Governor Greg Abbott and this Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board to serve on its inaugural Healthcare Workforce Task Force. It was formed to address shortages in Texas. The appointees are all considered experts and leaders of healthcare workforce needs across Texas. Chancellor Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher says she is proud of this appointment and eager to, quote, meet the demands of our growing state and to provide all students with the skills they need to succeed, end quote. Up to the Minute will welcome Dr. Harrison to the show this Wednesday and looks forward to hearing more about her appointment. And we have lots of Juneteenth celebrations coming up, right, Nick?
That's right. That's right. If you look around, there's probably something every day in the next couple of weeks. And, you know, one of our faculty members, Etta Smith, works with the Missouri City Juneteenth Foundation to host an annual awards gala. This one will be a community service awards gala titled Crown Jewels. And the keynote speaker will be Dr. Alvin Smith of Space to Explore. This will be Thursday, June 13th at 6 p.m. down at the Quail Valley Community Center on 2880 La Quinta Drive in Missouri City. You can check our post for information after the show.
And really looking forward to all those incredible events happening around our city. We also have some Ableton Live workshops with a Grammy winner. This summer, HCC will host 2 Ableton workshops on music theory, creating beats, sampling, and remixing. June sessions will be led by 3-time Grammy-winning HCC professor Nate Robinson. That will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays, June 15th and 22nd at HCC North Forest campus. There will be registration information in the post after the show.
You know, speaking of summer camps, we've also got an agriculture camp. For those of you who maybe music's not your thing, you can go and get your hands dirty. This is a chance for youth to study the ag science careers and horticulture. It provides hands-on activities with plants, and it's for grades 6 to 9. Cost is $25 per student. This will be running at the Katy campus Monday through Friday, starting June 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. There's registration information in our post after the show.
I love that. A growing career. We also have finally rescheduled graduation. I know everyone was really disappointed when we had to cancel it last month, and we've been looking forward to it. And so here it is. It's coming up on June 13th. So there will be no Up to the Minute. That is next Thursday because HCC's commencement has been rescheduled. HCCTV's crew will be working on the ceremonies. So Up to the Minute will not air this Thursday. We'll broadcast a best of episode on HCCTV. And again, that is no Up to the Minute on Thursday, June 13th. We will return on Friday, June 14th.
Will I see you Thursday morning at graduation or Thursday afternoon?
Thursday afternoon, I will be there. How about you?
I'll be there in the morning, so we'll just pass each other in between.
Passing. That's all right.
All right. Well, last announcement, you know, fall registration is open. And I also want to remind folks that summer 2 session enrollment is open as well. So students can register for classes in the summer and fall, regular classes, short semesters, sessions. We have a variety of programs. Our courses are offered in person, online anytime, asynchronously. We have classes that meet online on a schedule with virtual meetings. We have in-person labs, online, and hybrid labs, all modalities, all campuses, all sessions. Check it out. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover your costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
It was great to see you today, Nick, and I will look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
I'll see you then.
Coming up, speaking of commencement tomorrow, we'll host another graduation special featuring students and our new Interim Vice Chancellor of Student Services, Dr. Rima Adil. That's tomorrow. And later in the week, as we said, we'll welcome the new interim president of Coleman College for Health Sciences, Dr. Lutricia Harrison. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.